Welcome back to Twitter Titty Twisters. It's me, yours truly, the Duke of Double D's, Dalton Pruitt. And good Lord, what are we looking at here? This is Kanye West's muse, his missus, his better half, Bianca Censori. But them things look like they damn near uncensoried, if you know what I mean. She dropping a couple of backbreakers on us. I mean, get a load of these Balenciagas. I can normally spot a pair of naturals. I can spot a pair of fakers. I've been bamboozled before, for sure. I've made mistakes. I've confused naturals for fakers, fakers for naturals. I'm only a man. It happens. With these, I don't know how to call it. The jury's completely out on these. I don't know if these are naturals, big, heavy hanging naturals, or if these are hefty fakers or formulas, as I call them, because there's a lot of factors, and the biggest one is that, folks, you know what they say: money talks, wealth whispers. Okay, so people of means, people who are rich or even upper middle class, who can afford breast augmentations, can get a pretty good boob job for sure. But there's always telltale signs that that show you that they are indeed fakers. They just have that gaudy, expressive look, the very gauche look to them. They're always just too smooth and perfect and taut and firm. And there's also maybe an incision line underneath each one. But you can spot a pair of fakers versus a pair of naturals within certain tax brackets. But the truly wealthy have access to just so many things that we just don't even know about. You see it in the way they dress, for sure. Like rich people dress in big, flashy name brands that are kind of expensive, but just are at walking advertisements for the most part. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Supreme, hundreds of dollars for shirts and pants and what have you. That's how rich people deck themselves out. And that's kind of what we see with big fake tits for most of the time. Whereas truly wealthy people dress themselves in more understated, refined, modest clothing, the brand names of which we don't even know about because it's just so far outside the realm of anything most people can afford. Like what is that brand? Loro Piana, a t-shirt that costs $2,500. And you would never guess it. And so that's kind of where my trepidations arise in trying to figure out whether these knockers are natural or fakers, just given the amount of access that Kanye West and Bianca Censori have, because of their wealth. I mean, he's a billionaire, and so they have access to booby technology if they need it that we don't even know about. And they might, there's a chance that somebody has constructed the heaviest, hangingest pair of corn-fed slobber knockers as close looking to the real thing as possible for Bianca here. Or they could just indeed be natural. That's the thing with the truly wealthy is the lines become blurred between reality and artifice, and it's difficult to discern, looking at this, what is real and what is false when their lives, their personal lives, the lives they're living themselves are on display. The lives themselves are our entertainment, our content to be consumed. And that, as Kanye has been showing us lately, these titties are for us to consume as well. But I'm just at a loss as to whether these are natural or fake. They certainly are hanging and swanging and bouncing and clapping. And from what I've seen, they have all of the titty physics associated with naturals. The jiggle, the kinetic energy that moves through them, the bounce. They're very lifelike, but who knows? Now, as far as the presentation goes, I mean, what do I always say, folks? Meat and mystique, I think, is always a good rule of thumb when presenting, when staging a pair of jugs. It's good to give us a nice showing of meat to paint a picture, but then to leave something, in the shadow, to leave something to the imagination that exists within the theater of the mind. Allow us to fill in the gaps ourselves. That is the power of suggestion. And, this outfit, the way this skimpy, very skinny, I think this is still considered a brassiere, still meets that criteria. I mean, we get to see a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat here, some real prime rib. It's Saturday at Outback. They got the prime rib. I'm dipping these in the au jus and the creamy horseradish. You know what I mean? So there is that. But, the goods, the good goods are still covered up. So I commend Kanye and Bianca on their modesty in doing so, and allowing us, crediting us with our own imaginations, allowing us to, fill in those gaps ourselves. But, I laud them for getting out there in the world, showing them things off, and giving us a gander at some true beauties, a couple of wide Winnebagos. So 10 out of 10 wood motorboat.